This model has several gasoline engines. The first, the weakest 2.3, 150 horsepower. There are quite a few cars with such a power unit, but the reviews about their performance are not very good. This motor is frankly not enough for such a large car. Other power units are more powerful: 2.8, 197 horsepower, and 3.2, 220 horsepower, and 3 diesel engines: 2.0, 155 horsepower, 2.7, 165 horsepower, and 186 horsepower. Gasoline power units do not have any complaints from the owners. There are instances that have traveled more than 400,000 kilometers without major repairs. The time in drive is driven by a metal chain that has a resource of 200,000 kilometers. Due to the fact that gasoline versions have high fuel consumption, 20 liters in the city, many owners, in order to save money on fuel, equip the car with gas equipment. As a result, the service life of coils and spark plugs is reduced. SsangYong Rexton diesel engines are very demanding on fuel quality, and if you refuel with low-quality fuel, you will have to clean the fuel system and change nozzles. Therefore, it is better to choose a car with a diesel engine that was operated in a metropolis. 2 gearboxes options are available on SsangYong Rexton, a 5-speed manual and a 4-speed automatic. The mechanical transmission has its own characteristics. The gears are not very easy and indistinct, especially the first and second gears. You need to service the box more often than on other cars, at least once every 40,000 kilometers. If we talk about automatic transmission, then besides the fact that it is little thoughtful, it no longer has any drawbacks, and in most cases it takes care of more than 300,000 kilometers. Bridge the second smart TOD, when the front wheels are connected automatically using a viscose coupling. With the first type of transmission, when the axle is connected rigidly, it is only allowed to drive with all-wheel drive on all the time on off-road and on slippery roads. If the previous owner constantly drove with all-wheel drive on, then most likely you will have to change the entire system. There may also be problems with the vacuum modulator for connecting the front axle. Lubrication in the front and rear gearboxes must be changed every 40,000 kilometers. The main problem with this drive is that the electronics fail and the drive stops connecting. The reason for this feature is not identified in the service. The front suspension is independent double lever and rear is dependent with a powerful split axle. After 2012, an independent suspension is used. The SsangYong Rexton suspension is pretty solid, and most of the parts can withstand at least 17,000 kilometers with careful drivers. The frame structure with ground clearance, 195mm, 4-wheel drive, reduction gear and strong underbody protection allow you to overcome serious off-road conditions. Most often, owners who use the car for its intended purpose, off-road driving, have to change the ball joints of the front levers every 30–40,000 kilometers, for urban use 50–60,000 kilometers. The biggest drawback is that the ball joint changes with the lever and silent blocks, and this pleasure is not cheap. Bushings and anti-roll bars serve up to 50,000 kilometers, shock absorbers up to 100,000 kilometers. The rear suspension can be called eternal, since there is nothing to break here, you only need to pay attention to the condition of the axle shaft bearings. Closer to 100,000 km, when driving on rough roads, you can hear a knock in the suspension. The reason for this sound is the wear of the steering rack bushing. At the same run, the rack oil seals also begin to flow. But do not be afraid, as the steering rack is reliable. In conclusion, about the steering, I would like to know that the tie rod ends and traction rods have a fairly long service life, more than 150,000 kilometers of run. SsangYong Rexton is praised for its passive safety indicators. The database already has front airbags and a stability control system. The license plate of this car is located on the frame, therefore, before buying a car, be sure to see if it reads well, otherwise you will doom yourself to a lengthy examination in the mail. Most likely, you will come across the fact that not all spare parts for Rexton are in stock, and some of them have to be ordered only from an authorized dealer. The body of the car just does not rot, rust appears after a poor quality repair or a chip not repaired in time. The paintwork here is weak, as a result, the body is quickly covered with scratches and chips. Also, the owners blame the quality of the chrome plate body elements. As for the electrics, it is quite difficult to talk about any requiring problems. Masters in the service and many owners say that they encountered breakdowns and with completely different ones. In general, we can say that the quality of wiring and electrical connections in this car is not at the highest level. Also, a common occurrence in these cars is the failure of the immobilizer. It is not repairable, so it will have to be changed. If you are the owner of this car model, please describe the problems that you had to face during the operation of the car. Perhaps it is your review that will help readers of our site when choosing a car.